time to get this wire connected to this gun. I am holding the wire up, and I'm going to have to bend this a bit. There we go. Just a little bit there. There we go. I'm holding this up by a metal clamp that I have to the side that's actually holding up my phone. And if I zoom in on this a little bit, there we go. I want to make sure that this one goes right on top of this in the angle that I'm seeing here. Let's get it in there nice. Right. Now, explanation on what I'm about to do. Using this, one of my files, one of my heavier files, I sanded down this into a relatively flat surface that you could see here. And the whole purpose of that was not only to give it more of a wider angle, wider spacing for me to put this under this, but also because I want to put the glue on this, and that way it has more, stronger adhesive to the glue. Now, I was actually going to use the glues that I was using, and I was going to put it on, and then I came to the realization that my glue, the one that I use a lot, was not rated to be used for plastic to metal. I needed a glue that would work to that, to adhere metal to plastic. I went on the glue that I had was not qualified for that, but I did pick up this E6000 Premium. I'm going to use this as a little bit of a tray. Drop there. I was actually thinking that I was going to use an epoxy type glue, but this one was pretty good. It's a gel. It's gel. It's clear, and it should work. As a matter of fact, I use this glue to hold up the 3 barrels here. Put that in there. I'm going to put ample amount because I want to make sure that this thing sticks to it and it's never going to come off and hold this, have the strength of supporting this. And now I just need to set that into place. Do it this way. I actually had to come off. Great. Fair enough. Let's see if I can. Shoot. Let's try that again. Here we go. Alright, and then I have the bar connected to the bottom all the way up to the end here. I'm going to use this to gently hold it into place. Here we go. Now, I tested out this glue already. Onto this one here. I'm not feeling no stress of any type. I'm doing a little bit. This thing is really on. I'm gonna say it's been glued on for more than 12 hours, close to 20. I give it 24 just to make sure it's good. Once this is done, this actually sets in 2 hours, but I want to make sure it sets fully. Give it a good 24 hours. And then I need to cut the length and find out how far it is. I may have to buy another one of these wires to continue on with this. Because once I get these done, I'm going to now move on to the LED lights. Well, I'm going to have to say, this has been one of the most toughest work I've ever done in my entire life. And what you're seeing here is a very, very messy job. Super messy. I don't know if this will work or not. And I'm still in the middle of trial, error, trial, error. And it repeats itself over and over and over and over. So the original idea of the LED filaments wrapping around, it's not going to work. It's not going to fly. There's no way I could have done that. That's one. So that was issue number one. Issue number two, I had issues with using my soldering iron on this. And mainly because of this, which I think it needs to be replaced or cleaned or whatever. And what I do is I take a file and I sand it down, scrape off whatever's there, and try to use it again, but it's not hot enough for it, or it's not conductive enough. I ended up buying a new type of soldering iron, and I picked up this one. This is a 4-watt lithium soldering pen. I bought this at Harbor Freights, which is like nearby. Yeah. This is actually really cool. It has a 45-minute runtime, 980 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 watts. This is actually a USB soldering iron, which is really good. And right now, if anybody has a Harbor Freight nearby, if you buy anything over $30, you get yourself a free 5-gallon jug, or container. But you have to pay for the cap, which is like $3. But this was like $40. But this is a $40 investment for me for soldering stuff. And I had a little bit more success with soldering. However, the main line here was a pain in the ass to not only solder the filament to this, it was also a pain in the ass to glue this. Now, I purchased the E6000, which it partly works and partly does not work. And right now, I'm going to have to try to zoom in on this a bit so you guys can see the mess that you see here. This thing is blah. And this is me like cleaning and sanding and all that stuff, but also removing some of this, because this thing, when it solidifies, it becomes gummy, similar to this. It becomes a gummy form, which is good, and it sticks to it, but it doesn't adhere well to the actual metal part. It does work with the metal, but you first need to contact the metal part, the opposite end of the filament, which is either, right now, all this is the negative filament, negative part of the filament. It has to be conducted to the wire, to the brass that's in here, or the whatever metal part you have here. And you also, that way you can then funnel it to the far end to get the contact. I was having a hard time connecting those, so that's why I bought this new soldering iron, which worked, actually connected fine. Then, since the E6000 was not good to actually bind the filament to the metal wire, I used Gorilla Glue Gel XL, which actually works a lot better now, and it's holding on pretty well. However, now this is where the problem lies: getting it to turn on. I have this little wire here connected. I'm going to take the positive end, stick that in here, like so. And then if I tap on each wiring, so middle one works, this turret works, and this one is now telling me no. And this is where the problem lies. Every now and then it doesn't connect, or something happens, and I lose my mind here. It's like, come on, connect. I was hoping to get them all at the one shot. Let me see, maybe. Oh, see, now it connects. Actually, I gotta lift that up because I don't want it to cancel out. See? Oh, I think I know why. All right, it was connecting. I just needed to cancel it out. All right, I need to put something under that so the wirings don't hit each other. So if I do this, there we go. Well, that turns on. That turns on. That turns on. Now, can we get them all at the same time? Come on. See, this one's a bit of an issue here. I don't know why this is one. We just got you on a minute ago. Came off again. Let me put it on this one, on this side. Maybe it will work. So I don't know why this thing doesn't want to work sometimes. It was working a moment ago and now it doesn't. Now I have to like, see, the contact is not there. All right, so we know that works and we know that works. Sometimes I want to scream bloody murder, saying, I got this working. Why doesn't it want to do it? All right. Let me continue on because I have more of these wires, which I'm just using it here to merge these guys. I'm going to super glue the other filaments and move on and see how far I can go because this is getting a little out of hand here. Mentally on paper, it sounds right, but then when you do it into practice, it doesn't. This has been a strenuous work for me to work on this, but for me to quit is not an option. I could probably pause a bit and work on something else and then get back to it later on. But I got to get this lighting done, taken care of immediately first. I mean, really get this done. Okay. I came to the realization that I still suck at this. But I'm recovering. Let me explain this bit of a mess here. First of all, this guy. It took me a long time and a lot of gluing and a lot of removing and a lot of welding again. But I finally got the lights to work up to a certain degree. As a matter of fact, we're going to test it again. Let me shift to the camera here a bit. So that works. That works. And that works. So he's good. I wish I could do them all at the same time. I'm not ready yet. I made a big error with this one right here because the actual barrel melted a bit because I was trying to get the soldering to weld with the metal part from the filament onto this, and it wouldn't set no matter how many times I tried it, to the point where it melted. And I go, great, maybe I can recover it. I can probably cover the barrel a bit with a piece of plastic. Thinking about that, I have some tubing like this one right here, which I was using for that. I don't know if it's big enough, but let's see what happens. And then I realized something. Maybe I don't need to use the rod as a connection point to the electrical. So what I did was I soldered the filament with wire, with one of the wires that I have here. All I did was cut one end and the other, put it into length, soldered it, and instead of welding it, I superglued it. So superglued this one under here, which is now glued, and then superglued under this. Here's the other barrel here, which has been also superglued from here to here, both under and below. I had to be very careful with this and take my time, not go, nutty over this. Right now, it's still trying to set. This one I just put glue on. I'm going to wait until it dries, and then I'm going to put it on a little bit. But yeah, I should have thought of this ahead of time. This was my mistake on my part. I should have thought of this. And for me to go to that one and start to, take that apart, it's already done. And this whole mess is annoying, of course. It's annoying for everything and how it's going to glue on. However, there's always there's always something I could use to cover it up. For starters, let me show you something here. So I could still use this, the E6000, which is gummy. And then what I'm going to do is once all these are connected, I'm going to put it right over it to form a bubble, like a little bubble thing, as thin as I can. Then I'm going to take these. Now, not the brushes, the little tubing that's around the brushes. I'm going to try to slide them in, or cut them and slide them in, and using a blow dryer, melt it around it to seal it in, to cover that in there, to see if that will give another effect of it, the bubble beam shot, you could say. Yeah, that is partially the idea. This one I'm I'm taking one of these. It is the correct length. I think both of these will hold up the kit. And if not, I can definitely I could probably weld these two guys together with the soldering iron. I don't know if it will work. I'll try, and if not, I'll just tape it, and then it'll be strong enough for it. Because I can't. Unfortunately, the owner doesn't have any more metal rods. Somebody bought all the metal rods for some sort of weird. Because the owner that I went to was Ritual Hobbies, which is well, you know, I didn't go to Ritual Hobbies. I went to, where the hell did I go to? Maybe I can go to Ritual Hobbies and get it. Now, you know what? I'll just do with this because right now I want to get this. I want to get this done. I was to the point where I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I was saying, I really suck at this. I really do. And I wanted to quit. I was like, you know, I'm quitting this. I'm not building this. I'm going to put this away. But I can't. I really can't. I really got to finish this guy. I really do. Because it would be a disservice to all Yamato / Star Blazer builders out there if I don't do this right. So, yeah. I'm waiting for these to glue up. I'm going to get a little plate here, put a little carriage to hold up these here. Then repeat the process with this one. And then I'm going to put it on the Yamato and see how it looks. I have a lot of these wires. This was actually from a Tamiya bag, a Tamiya wire set for RCs. So I have, you know, all I have to do is lengthen it up and all that stuff so I can use it for whatever. And then I gotta get to that base hopefully soon. Now, I did get some stuff in the mail that I ordered, more supplies. I bought another one of these like a wire splitter, where I can connect wires to this and then put it all to that. So that helps me out with the wiring. I bought another. Well, no. I'm still waiting for it. I don't know how it is. But I bought another switch. Oh, here it is. Head to the side. I had to buy another RF switch. And this will be for the Yamato if I can get this done. And even though I already have one of these battery packs and have another one, I decided to get a new set of battery packs. This one is actually AA, I believe. I don't want to open it up just yet, but I'm going to open it up anyway. Oh yeah, this is a switch for a battery pack for AA batteries and not AAA batteries. So I can definitely squeeze that into the body of the Yamato with the RF switch, so I can light up 2 or maybe 3 more lights in it. Because I am not going to go out and pay $40 for a battery pack. Somebody sent me an email the other day asking me, not email, message, should he buy the battery pack? And I said, well, if you can get it, fine. But if you're into wiring and know what you're doing, maybe I can try to show it to you guys. But we're moving ahead ourselves. Let me continue with this, because there's a lot more wiring and a lot more gluing and a lot more soldering to do. Because what I do is, and I should have said, so yeah, I soldered the extra wire to this. I know it's not the black one, but that's okay. And then I'm gluing this part to the metal rod, and this one will be glued under it, like this one. So let me continue on. All right. Here's kind of an ugly looking way of seeing the LED lights on this. I had a hard time getting all this to work. And even when it works, I'm afraid to touch it because it always either disconnects or something, a wire gets pulled or something like that. I gotta be extra careful here with how I do this. And as you can see here, as the barrels here is really bad with all the glue that I've been peeling off. I'm gonna have to like see if I can clean it up as best as I can. The one back here was not that bad, but that was the original connection, which I had a hard time. This is the updated one, and I'm now starting to work on the new ones right here that you could see, which I'm still gluing the LED lights to the wire, and then I gotta somehow connect it to this. I'm noticing that this is a little too close, so I gotta find a way to tweak the underside of the carriage so it's in a different angle. I think I'm going to try to spread it out and it'll be easier for it to support. But I think the reasons why I did this is because I wanted to show how the lights would look. And here we go. And I'm going to turn off that, turn off that, and turn off that. And if I had the other 3 lights ready to go, that thing would have been awesome. Obviously, there are wiring that you see under this that I'm going to see if I can hand paint it black so it molds into the lighting. Using the E6000 glue, which is like it's like a gummy glue, it acts as an extra type of like how can I say it, like a bulb-like type feature. Wrong way of saying it. I'm sorry. Maybe it's not coming out of my mouth properly. But it has that. It acts as an effect. As an effect, and maybe I'm thinking that once I finish gluing them on, I'm probably going to get clear blue and try to hand paint it over it, and maybe the effect of the lighting will bring it out more. But remember that this part is going to probably be covered up to here. All this nonsense will be inside the base. Everything here, about an inch or so, will be the effect of the explosions as the Yamato is firing point blank at the enemy structure base, and everything is being held up by the 3 turrets. This wiring, I'm kind of like regretting me putting it on, but I could figure out how to glue. If I can glue these 2 guys on with a strong epoxy adhesive or something to hold it in, then it could act as a secondary. It could hold up the weight. As long as now I got to find a way to connect this wire in the back of the base. Yeah, I was hoping to get this done by the end of this month of February. It looks like we're going to go into March soon, so I gotta ramp this up. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing here. If you have any ideas or suggestions of maybe that it should have been done better, I am open to discussions and suggestions. But let me continue on because we really need to finish this soon.